Hey guys, thanks for checking in. Shannon here. Just wanted to give you a little winter update on. I've been in Colorado now for almost 3 weeks now, and the first week and a half was great. Weather was good. Got cold at night, but it wasn't that big of a deal. Got down into the 20s. I think a couple nights it was 18, 19 degrees, but I had dealt with that in Texas a couple times, so that wasn't a big deal. Wasn't worried about that. But I have had to make some adjustments with the snow. Made a couple rookie moves that I have now remedied. So the first thing I came across is my propane tanks. For whatever reason, in the morning when I light them up on the stove to make my coffee, are petering out and acting like I've just run out of propane. Well, I haven't run out of propane. My tanks are full, or mostly full. And so what I'm finding is I'm having to switch over my tank each morning. So it has an automatic switch over, but whatever, if it's full, then it doesn't switch over to start. So I've had to switch over. I just flip the switch back and forth each morning as I'm coming in from walking the dog. So I've got the Fairview. I replaced everything, as you can see. This is all new regulator, new hoses, new everything. Yes, the tanks have been bled. They've been cleaned out real good by my local propane guy when I was in Marshall. So that's not the problem. Nobody's been able to explain why it's doing it. Maybe it's just too cold, and it's so the propane's not having enough pressure to push itself out. But so each morning I have to switch over. And then the other day, yesterday, it's kind of weird. It wasn't that cold, but I hadn't had used the propane all morning, and then when I went to cook last night, I had to do it again. So I'm not sure why that's happening. Nobody's been able to give me a solid answer why. I've talked to several propane people. I've asked on Airstream Addicts. I've done all kinds of stuff, and nobody can come up with a solid reason. So we're just, it is what it is until it warms up. It's not a big deal. It's just since I have to go outside anyway to walk the dog. Other thing is, of course, I did my skirt. If y'all remember my skirt I put around Mildred before I came out. Now I have been kind of packing up snow a little bit around the bottom, which is a nice little insulator. So I made a bit of a rookie move. Well, one thing that's been interesting is I can tell I'm well insulated because the snow, now it's melted off already today because everything melts so fast, but you can tell where the ribs are in the Airstream because that's the only place that is melting. So the insulation is good because I'm nice and toasty inside. It's about 65 degrees inside, but the snow was not melting on top except for where the ribs were. Well, that's interesting because that also means there's a rib on either side of the door, right? And because the seal around the door has never been great, and it's still something I'm working on, trying to figure out how to keep it from leaking, my door's frozen shut. So I managed to get out the first morning with some banging and stuff like that. So I keep a heat gun in there and melt the bottom of the door so I can get out in the mornings. That's fun, right? Anyway, so let me come around here and show you what I did. What happened, rookie move, I knew the cold was coming. We had about 50-degree weather. It was gorgeous, fabulous, wonderful. I'll give you a little peek of the view, since we're here. Anyway, I forgot to close my valves. Now, fortunately, I'm only gray water. I'm on composting, so I don't have black water. So the whole time it was freezing outside, it was draining, which means I ended up with a 12-foot popsicle. Yeah. So yesterday I went to Lowe's and I got a heat lamp, put it underneath there. Now I had already wrapped. Let me turn this around again and show you. Okay, so I had the skirt all the way around, right? And I did have snow kind of packed up around the bottom, kind of iglooing it in because it does create a nice little insulation. But I went ahead, because the wind is so high, I went ahead and bought 6 straw bales and put it around, and that's keeping the skirting in place. The other thing I had to do, because the wind gusts can get up to 35 miles an hour, had to anchor it. So I've snagged up some pieces of cinder block to hold it down on the top here. And as you can see, there is a cord coming out of the back hatch. And I'll explain that in a second. And then of course it wraps around and stuff. And then unfortunately I've got to go almost the full 12 feet of my hose to get to the out here where it drains out. So I had gone ahead and taken some Reflectix I had left over and a towel and wrapped it around the exposed part of my tank release area, right? So I've got one handle there, that is for the gray tank from the kitchen, and then the other one back here behind the towel, you can't see it, is for the gray tank for the shower and sink. And then what I've had to do is I spent $19. I got a heat lamp. I don't know if you can see it underneath there. It's not on right now, but I got a heat lamp to thaw all of that out and keep it nice and warm, because we're going to continue for the next month and a half to be really, really cold. And that was enough. With this all dropped down, I just come in here, lay it all up. It did have snaps, but they weren't strong enough to put up with this wind that we get. And so I just lay it over, right? This comes in. Oh, I had that nicer earlier, a second ago. Holds in nice and tight. And then, excuse me for a moment, just lay that brick on top. That holds it in place. And then that little bit of heat differential from the lamp has been enough to keep it thawed out. So I have a timer. It goes inside that little tank there, right? Or inside that hatch. And then I had put a plug underneath the sink in the kitchen. And that is, I've got it on a timer, so it'll turn on at 5 o'clock and stay on for 12 hours. And that is enough to keep my valves from freezing. And then I'll just release once or twice a week and let it flow down there and out. So that has been my winterizing update for below freezing temperatures in Colorado, which, like I said, is doable. Put everything back where it's supposed to. Doable, but tricky. So, but this is the trade-off for living in winter in Colorado, is that phenomenal view. So totally worth it. And as you can see, I'm on a horse ranch, so I'm surrounded by gorgeous babies back there. Right? So anyway, so thanks for checking in, and I will see you on the next video, and happy camping. Thanks. Bye. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. Bye.